Welcome to Holdback Podcast. My name is Jessica Hare. I operate Hare Hollow Farm, and we breed boas, balls, and select colubrids.
Hi, I'm Jana King. I operate ASM Royal Tails, and I breed high-end ball pythons.
We want to share our journey navigating herpetoculture and are dedicated to promoting biohazard safety for all species. And we would love you to answer the question, what's in your holdback rack?
Episode
17.
17?
We did it. I did not put up my background again. Fuck it.
That's okay.
I didn't feel like it.
I'm flexing in front of my rack. It's your favorite thing.
I mean, it is a uniform surface to do a video in front of. So that counts for something.
Better than my husband in bed with my child.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm
One of
sure
these
no
days we'll get you the algorithm that deletes your background for you. We'll get that turned on.
Oh, yeah.
Then you can do it wherever.
I have like a tropical oasis.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great.
Future Jessica here. The video was completely messed up. So now you're going to have to pretend like you're seeing our beautiful faces. All right, bye. I think you saw my thumbnail. So we're leading with the Lacey Act Amendment stuff. How have you been processing this information?
How I process all bad news. I just don't process it for a while. I see it and I refuse to acknowledge it. What's the first stage? Is denial the first stage?
It might be. That sounds about right.
So I'm still in denial.
Okay. Did you message your senators?
For the best. I did.
Good job. Technically, USARC hasn't even asked people to message their senators yet because they haven't, you still obviously can, but they haven't been okay, this is the committee it's in, so we should message these ones more intensely or whatever. They haven't even released that information. So I don't think it's been assigned to a reconciliation committee in the Senate yet, but there was a real lack of response for a week. But then today I thought it was much better.
Yeah.
On Instagram especially.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, I saw a lot this morning.
So that's good. Thank God for that.
What are your thoughts? Do you think it's going to go through?
I honestly think it'll be an accident if it goes through or doesn't go through.
Okay. That made no sense.
The version that gets out of the reconciliation committee that the Senate signs, it's just random luck which senator will be on that committee and if they care to exclude or include that rider. Like a copy paste problem. He scrolled down, hit shift, and he copied it. and he added
not even
it.
The senator, it's the assistant
right.
To that committee.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's almost literally luck. Because things have snuck through a lot this way.
Yes. Because it's, 700 pages.
Or I think it's 3,000 pages.
Oh, I was guessing. It's probably 3,000 pages.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that doesn't have to do with anything, which is the way this happens now. But
right, yeah.
I think that's why I'm I think it's actually dumb luck. Because the Lacey Act or a version of it has been on other bills. And it's just the version of it that gets passed just happens to not have it on there. I don't think anybody passed it or didn't pass the main bill because of the riders.
Right.
So I don't know.
So if it does go through, can they appeal it? What will USARC do if it goes through?
They can try to sue based on some sort of legal grounds that it's not lawful based on whatever precedent, which is how they won the last time. But this one specifically gives powers to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service through the Lacey Act that it was why the lawsuit won before. So this is very much a response to the successful lawsuit.
The lawsuit. Okay.
So they're trying to cover their bases. So there might not be any grounds for there's a little error in the law that we can get it back. what'll happen then is maybe, since they have to sort of be added to the whitelist instead of subtracted on a blacklist, we'll all be like clambering to whitelist whatever we work with. But there's lots of animals that people work with. Corals would count. Think of all the species of corals that nobody even knows what the species is. Worms would count.
Oh my gosh.
Birds would count. So like we're all going to be like vying and for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service attention. And that sounds like a pain in the dick.
And they don't actually care.
Right.
So
unless they whitelisted 40,000 species from the get-go, it'll be a kind of slog to be like, they're going to add these 200 mollusks and these 200 crayfish. You know, it's going to take forever. I don't know how they're going to make any good decisions quickly. I do think ball pythons are safe-ish. Corn snakes, like the common pet animals, but something stupid like a Japanese rat snake might not be safe because they just forget to put it on the whitelist.
Right, or not enough people ask.
Right, or whatever. And boas are like
why
low-key gray list anyway because they were on the original version of the Lacey Act.
Well, and people think of them as big snakes.
Right, even though they're not really that big.
How come there hasn't been more like alerts about this before it went to the Senate or the House? It was there, I just wasn't seeing it, or
wait,
like I said,
because
today I'm seeing
so like
a lot.
Yeah, like
but
PETA
like
or whoever, an animal rights organization will send a copy-pasted law to whatever, every single representative and like give their reason why they think this law should be added to every time a bill comes up. And so the people who are interested in those people's opinions will just keep that in their Word document. And then every time they have a chance they think it could go, they'll copy paste it as a rider onto whatever bill they think matters. I was told today, and this might not be true, this is wild speculation, rumor alert, bee-boo, bee-boo, that it was Marco Rubio that submitted the rider and had it attached. It's a Republican, by the way. Then tonight on Instagram, someone was railing against the left about progressives and whatever, and I
saw that a lot. Yeah,
I was like, "Whoa, dude, this is both parties here." Obviously, the Democratic Party has a problem with over legislating stuff for sure, but
I think we can all agree
it's not like Dems versus Republicans right now. This is like the entire normal human race that likes animals as pets versus a very small number of people who want to copy paste extra rules for fun because they don't get the consequences because it doesn't mean anything to them.
Yeah.
And the best, I think, what was his name? Brian Carter brought up a example of how this happened to the online gambling hobby in the early 2000s. I was like a semi-professional player. And then they just added a rider to basically make it so hard that it basically couldn't exist, and then it stopped existing right away. Did you read that post? It was earlier in the week.
I didn't see that post.
Right,
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
What, gambling or poker or?
No, that they can just throw a rider on a random thing and completely extinguish
an entire industry?
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is, and this is not the best example, but I used to work for the ATF, and there was a weird little bonus rule that was placed in a law in 1986, and that made machine gun manufacturing illegal. And no one even knew that was in there for a while, and they're like, whoopsie. So any machine gun made after 1986 is contraband and can be destroyed unless it was made for the federal government or for like a specific reason, like law enforcement or whatever. So that was one where like a whole class of thing becomes banned, not as part of a whole act, but as like a tiny little thing. And machine guns can kill people. So you can argue whether or not this was a good idea or not. But that was always one that stood out to me, like the smallest little 3 sentences. Whoopsie daisy. They're all legal now. Don't make any, guys at home. And you can make one very quickly.
My brothers are all concealed carry, so I get to hear about guns at every holiday. But yeah, it's crazy how like just a little boop-de-doop attached to 4,000 pages about something else can change a lot. It's crazy how our system
I guess
seems super broken.
hopefully everyone knows what we're talking about. But if they don't, do you want to go through like the rough outline of what
Sure.
would happen? I mean, you can
Yeah, so
read
we
number
are
one if you
talking
want.
about, yeah, we're talking about the US ARC posted a alert about the Lacey Act addendum, and it passed in the House on the 4th of this month. What it will do is create a white list of species that can be imported. This means that any animal, reptile, amphibian, fish, bird, mammal, invertebrate that is not on the white list is by default treated as an injurious species and is banned from importation.
Right, and there's a little bit of confusion there if importation meant just into the U.S.
Or if it meant between states.
and it does also mean between states.
They definitely
Yeah,
mean between states too, even if it doesn't say that.
right. The original Lacey Act was only supposed to regulate the transfer of wildlife products from outside the U.S. to inside the U.S. So that's why the original lawsuit went through. But this new rider clarifies that they also have the authority to transfer within the U.S., and so the whitelist would then apply to anywhere that they have authority.
Yeah, like you're not supposed to cross state lines with African softwares, and you're not supposed to ship them at all
Right.
alive.
How much does that happen, though?
I don't know. Most of the people that I talk to in the ASF circles, it is highly frowned upon. It's not like, oh, haha, wink, wink. They're pretty like, that's illegal. Like,
Yeah.
all like pretty good rule followers.
Obviously, people can still buy and sell ASFs, and it's fine. So there could be a post-whitelist world where the ones that didn't make to the whitelist still can sort of be at a hobby level. But any sort of hopes of making those a business-makeable species would sort of go away.
Would fizzle and be gone. Yeah.
Yeah, you need a certain quorum of buyers for certain price point animals. So if you don't have that in your state, the Ponzi scheme doesn't really work anymore.
No, it kind of falls apart. Yeah, and if you can't have a national customer base, it falls apart as well.
Right. There's especially for a species that's rare or big or only a couple hundred people are interested in it. You're not going to find somebody who wants it in your state, most likely. The second one is it'll create an authority that allows the Fish and Wildlife Service to use an emergency designation that makes them able to bump up or down a species to a whitelist or down from a whitelist without any oversight. They just have to publish it in the Federal Register, which is a normal requirement.
Whoa.
But they could just be like, I hate ball pythons today. And then without
That
any
seems
sort
like
of...
a lot of power.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if you had petitioned for it to get on the whitelist, they could look at it and be like, I've decided that these 3 ball pythons got out in Georgia and lived for 20 minutes successfully. That is not acceptable.
Wow. I feel like that's more that seems more significant than the previous one. The number one point. It seems like them having all that power to just what recourse do we have if they have unlimited say so?
Right. Right. So not only have they made a whitelist, they've made it so they can do whatever they want with this whitelist. Not that great. Could be worse.
Nope. Number 3, permit Fish and Wildlife Services do not allow importation if a species has not been imported in minimum quantities to be defined in the year prior to the enactment of this act. So basically, they can just say we can't import stuff anymore.
Well, this rule kind of already exists, but it's maybe more loose. Like Madagascar might have a quota to export a certain number of its like native fauna, and if they don't hit that number enough years in a row, they will drop off. And they'll just be like, well, nobody's using this 1,000 snake units, so we'll just not even bother like the regulatory burden of doing that. But this is saying like on the intake, this is hard for animals like that are very rare in the wild or whatever, or we don't get in, or we only get them from our European friends because can't even get them from the wild anymore. So how many boa constrictors get imported from Europe every year? 1,000 or something? But if we couldn't get them from the wild anymore, is 1,000 enough to keep getting it from Europe? Or how many is enough? So it doesn't define what the amount of enough is. What are the rules? It just says they can just decide what a minimum amount is. They might just be like, only things that import 100,000 units come in. What does that? Ball pythons? And that's it? Maybe?
Probably that's it.
Yeah. Even corn snakes, which is fine, but we don't necessarily need to import a lot from Europe. But people definitely do because they have different versions of what we have. But if the number's only 250 a year, they would just cut off corn snakes because they just didn't hit the magical number. So it doesn't have to be just wild caught. A lot of people are like, I want them to not bring in any more wild caught in. This means import from anywhere. Captive bred, farm,
Right.
ranch.
Yeah, you could be like the people who are doing business regularly with Europe with their ball pythons. Like, you can't do it either.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody, not just major.
We still might be able to
importers and
sell
exporters of wild
to
caught.
Europe potentially based on their like intake quotas, but you
We wouldn't be able to buy to bring in. Oh, okay.
But maybe
My bad.
you do want to though, because they have different stuff and they're further ahead of some projects than we are, even in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah. And number 4 is just the effective date would be 1 year after the date of enactment. So if you're like, I have retics and they're definitely not going to be on the white list, you'd have to be like,
for sure
quick,
not.
Let's move to a state with a couple million people in it at least, so we have some chance of having buyers. So a lot of people are already talking about repositioning themselves if their species of choice is at risk of not making the whitelist.
I mean, it's potentially damaging to a lot of people's businesses and investments, because then you're something that could be like a high-end BOA project or something that you've spent thousands of dollars to invest into could overnight be reduced to the state that you live in, and therefore the value, like someone locally, is not necessarily going to pay what someone nationally will pay. And it's just, wow. It just has a lot of repercussions that I don't think people are understanding the significance if this does go through. Or maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe it's not realistic that it's going to go through, but I got a bad feeling.
I asked in the Discord who had seen the 2014-15 time period where boas were originally proposed to be on the naughty list of injurious species. And at that time, there's been the reports of like price drops, just them sort of being proposed on the naughty list, not even on the naughty list. So like if boas did fall off the naughty list, I would expect a price crash for sure for a species that doesn't make it.
Oh yeah, the market will 100% crash.
Yeah, and retics crashed hard when they were officially injurious. Officially. Even dwarfs and stuff, because they can't tell them apart, so they're all the same. So it doesn't matter if it's only 10 feet long. It doesn't count. So there's a lot of people who bought 1 or 2 dwarf retics from Reach Out Reptiles, and they're going to be like, oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
What are we
I'm not
do?
going to be able to do anything with that.
That's all. This is all just repeating what you could learn in better words from somewhere else. But right now, reach out to your senators. I don't know if that will help in any way at all. And tell someone you know that might not have heard yet. Especially if they have something like a chinchilla, a hamster, a pet rat, a parakeet. Like something that they think is normal, but might just not make it.
Strange times we live in.
Mm-hmm.
COVID, and then take away our pets.
So this is we're checking back in on shipping as a topic. I'm going to read you something from the 40-line heat packages. For best results, individually wrap warmers loosely with a piece of newspaper or place inside of a paper bag. Place wrapped warmers along walls of shipping box or between containers within the shipping.
So it does say wrapped.
Yes, that's the whole point. Is it does say that, but then the website says don't do that. Like to ship your reptiles or Reptiles Express one. So you didn't make it up, is my point.
Thank you. Okay, because I was like, I was following directions from somewhere.
Yeah, you're fine. But I think the point here is it just says like wrapping something in paper, so that's breathable, but tape isn't breathable. So they're like, when you tape it to the top, you shouldn't tape over the red line. But if you happen to wrap it in paper, it's okay because it can breathe through the paper. but you don't
Okay.
have to
Because
wrap
it
it in
literally
paper.
says on there brown paper bag. Like
Right.
I'm like, I didn't come up with this on my own. I didn't have any idea where I'd gotten it from, but apparently I read the back of the package.
And then it says later on, if it's kept in an enclosed space like wrapped in paper or placed inside shipping box without covering the venting holes along the red stripe. So that is kind of
Confusing.
contradictory.
Yeah.
But I think what they mean is like if it's in paper, keep the red stripe pointed out, like towards, instead of pushed back against the styrofoam. That's what I think it means. But
The red stripe should always be facing where the animal is. It should always be the exposed side, right?
right, but it doesn't necessarily face the animal.
Well, I mean, like interior of the
Yeah,
box.
yes, yeah, interior of the box. The animal might be across the street at this point.
Okay, so don't follow the directions on the back of the bag. Follow the directions on Ship Your Reptile.
Or
That
I did
or
check
takeaway.
Reptiles to you just to see if I
And that's
lost
who I
my
normally
mind.
use.
Yeah, and it also does not say anything about the red stripe or paper, which I find interesting.
Yeah, that was all news to me. So
No, it's okay.
I learned something.
The Reptiles Express directions are otherwise the same. I didn't see any major differences. I was just like double checking if someone
I
had
feel like
entered the
Ship Your
hobby.
Reptiles is more comprehensive.
Yeah, but I thought like the Express one was the same, just with less information. Like they redacted 30% just so they didn't get a copyright infringement.
Cut and paste similarly.
Yeah, something like that.
I just mean like I hadn't been on Ship Your Reptiles, but
Yeah, I
the
could totally
majority
see.
of our notes were from Ship Your Reptiles. It was like a different experience. The
Why
correct
are your
way to
heat
do
warmers
things.
not out? Your heat packs.
Why aren't they in my reptile room?
No, just why aren't they? Why aren't you shipping right now? Is my question. I guess
Oh, I don't have anything listed.
that's what I mean. Why don't you have anything listed? Don't you have things that are for sale that are more than $200 or something?
No,
Really?
nope. I have an albino 66 pied male, and I have that GHI lesser inchy double head
Male?
male.
Those are probably $200, $300, something like that.
Yeah, so they're
Surely.
like right in that range. And then I have a pastel gravel slash really yellow belly that's like 18 months old that I need to sell. And none of those really feel like Wharf Market stuff.
I've been selling a lot this week, so I'm just surprised.
Yeah, I've heard that from everybody that
Like the weather's good in the
tax
Northeast.
tax season and people are excited and the market has picked up dramatically this week. But I have like four that aren't staying, so I'm not super worried about it.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, if you put them up and they go, then cool. If they don't, it's fine. You could pad them out so that it like compensates you for the effort of.
Right. So it's on my to-do list. I had to get everybody in here. I rearranged my setup and reptile room and doubled my rats. Then I was trying to eliminate the flies. You can probably see some flying around. I gave up and went back to Coco. Paper towels suck.
Yeah,
Anyway, so it's like I have three to list, and it's like they're like $200 each. So I'm not in a huge.
all right.
Ooh, get those on Morph Market and
Yeah,
sell
I
those
know, but I mean,
suckers.
you could.
And I
I'm just
haven't
impressed
decided.
by the market this week.
Yes,
Because
I've
people have got
heard
started getting
great
stuff there.
things. Lots of people are selling again. I'm not sure. I'm still on the fence with the double het male.
There's no rush. I just like, it's slow, so slow over the winter. Like, and I feel like I talked
I
to
had
4 or
not
5
a
people
single.
today and sold 3 snakes today. So that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I literally had no snakes listed from December to now. Since December, I've had no snakes
I
listed.
mean, that's also a pleasure too. Not getting emails from people that are in
Correct.
crazy emails.
I also have to go through and decide what het pieds I'm keeping from that last clutch, because technically those girls could be sold once I decide who I'm not keeping. But it's like I like one or two things about every single, but I don't need 6 dinker hepides. I mean, unless I do, but
You know
I
me,
don't.
I'm all about tinkers. Which is a
So,
mistake, by the way.
right, right. So I don't want to fall into that trap. But for the most part, I wholesaled everything and am just waiting on next season. So I'm kind of just chilling, just enjoying breeding and getting everything set up in here. So I no longer have snakes in my living room.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to point out that Phase 22s are reusable. They never go bad. So you can actually sanitize the surface.
Oh,
Like Ship Your
that's
Reptiles says
cool.
you can put them in boiling water for 2 minutes and they won't melt or whatever. So that would kill crypto and everything else.
That's rad.
So they're $7, but if we all just start sending them to each other and
And keeping
sanitizing
them.
them,
Yeah,
or put them in bags like I do anyway, you could just take the bag off and throw it away. It would be pretty
done so. Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't throw them away, everybody. It's not like a ice pack where you can kind of reuse it, but it kind of gets gross because like stuff sticks to it.
Yeah.
And a heat pack is obviously done once it's done, but a Phase 22 is infinite. So I keep all the Phase 22s that get sent to me. Hopefully the people I send Phase 22s keep them, but I bet they don't because it looks like an
I
ice
had
pack.
no idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. I wanted to put that out there if we're all going to start using them all the time. I had a post taken down by Instagram for selling snakes, even though that wasn't a post that was selling snakes. But the like Facebook algorithm that doesn't want animal sales is loose on Instagram trying to find sale posts. And I know some people on Instagram post numbers, and I have also in the past. Like,
I've been pretty lazy about it. Yeah, I've posted numbers and not had anything happen.
so I don't know how many like ticks on my account I can get before they cut me off, but I guess I will not post at the very least any numbers anymore. But it wasn't even a number post that it caught. It was just a normal post.
So interesting because I post numbers on like clutches and stuff, or I put like the gender numbers like 1.0 and zero point 0.1 and interesting.
I don't know. I'm
We'll
not in
have to keep an
charge.
eye on that.
So lame,
Nobody's
as
in charge. It's
always.
an algorithm.
Have you been trying? Did you? So you listened to Stone Age's Reels live?
Yes. Yes, I did.
And
I
was
did
he
not watch
saying
it
anything
live.
new
I did.
or
I learned some new things that I don't actually know how to do reels. Like there's a bunch of features that I didn't know. I'm in a chat group on Instagram that he's also in, and so he had shared some of the things already, and I had started implementing them. But he talks about the business suites, so you can pre-schedule your posts, your daily posts, which I had already been doing because he had suggested it before. He talked about how you need to do one reel, one story, one post every day. He went from like 2,000 follows. He's up almost, I think, to like 5,000 follows, just like in the last like 3 months.
I believe that, but I don't think that's because of the story and the post. I think it's only because of
Oh,
the reel.
yeah. Well, he does one a day of
Right, I
everything.
don't mind people who do post, but I'm just saying, like, to me, I've never seen a post drive follows. Only reels
Oh,
drive follows.
never. Yeah, for sure. And it's the reels that are getting all the attention anyway. He just talked about like all the stuff that he's researched and on reels and how to do reels and how he as like a busy guy, how he can manage to do that much posting. When you're cleaning on cleaning day, take 15 or 20 photos, take 8-second clips of snakes, and then you have like a stockpile of things that you can post onto Instagram. And so he said that you should only do like 8-second reels. Is that what you do?
If you can make them shorter, it's better.
That's what he said. He said the
But
shorter the better, the long ones don't do well.
yeah, they don't do well. But sometimes, like, the content wants to be longer. So, like, I guess an example is like holding a snake in your hand for like a whole minute is a waste of time. You only needed
Okay.
like one look at it for 7 seconds, 8 seconds, and then it's just like the surprise, and then it's gone. Then someone will watch it again if they want to see it again. So that'll get your view count up. I did try to do like a tutorial reel on the Holdback Rack podcast Instagram, like how to do something,
Okay.
and it was about 30 seconds. Like if I cut it down as small as possible or whatever. That one did do well, but nothing does well on that Instagram anyway, because
Yeah,
nobody subscribes to it.
it's like, yeah, it's like 5 followers or something.
Right. So, but I think what I was doing recently is listening to like podcasts and YouTube people and whatever that are creators or whatever, tip people, but not for reptile people. Tip people for other brands or businesses.
Okay.
And I think they know what.
So they know what's up more than probably like the reptile. See, and I always try to do it too long, and then
Yeah.
I need to
I'm
be
not saying
doing
Stone Age is
shorter
wrong, because
ones.
everything you said that he said is right. It matches what they said. But I almost think, like fashion bloggers or whatever are even more on trend or whatever.
Yes.
So it's not just
I was
make it
agreeing.
short. It's like, yeah, make it short and funny or interesting in some way that's like transformative or convey value to your watcher, like something, or something that's like
Yeah,
so.
you have like 3 seconds to catch their attention or something crazy like that.
Yeah, and I
What's the
agree. Like,
world
so
come
so I
to?
have a lot of old reels that were long that did poorly. They'd be like 40 seconds of like a snake in my hand. And I definitely have noticed people who would like a picture I posted do not like a reel I post, no matter what the content is and what the length is. They just don't like reels. But I just officially decided that it doesn't matter.
He also said that you can go through the viral reels and save the music.
Yeah, I do that now.
I didn't know about that, so I do that now.
Yeah. There are some that we should do together because they're also promoting like reels that are two people collabing. There's two screens that are talking.
Okay.
That's a pushed feature. There's some funny audio that you can do with two people. It's funny.
Okay.
One day it'll be difficult. So I think I hit 2,000. I don't remember.
You did?
Did
Dang it,
I?
I was watching
Yeah,
it. Did I miss it today? I was out
it doesn't
cold
matter.
today.
But all of those new followers
Doesn't matter,
are
she says. Holy crap, you did!
from reels,
Face.
not from anything else. I can tell. It's because one of my rat snake reels is currently still going viral for no reason. It's not even that great. It
Which
was
one?
using an on-trend sound, but it wasn't a sound that was like on the uptrend. You know how like you can tell if something's trending by the little infographic that's at the bottom of the sound?
I don't know. Teach me.
So if you see the bottom of a reel, there's like a little music note.
Yes.
If that music note is an up arrow, it's a trending up music sound.
Oh.
So you can pick that one, because if you picked a sound that was popular on TikTok 6 months ago, even though it's still funny to you, it might have already like run its
trending.
course.
Right.
So you can go through and pick. You can go through and pick based on that criteria. But the sound I picked was not an uptrending, but it just still decided to go up anyway. So you don't have to
How many
limit
views?
yourself. I don't know. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, I hate your face.
It's still not the 2.1 million I have on that other one.
Who cares? I only have 2,000 followers and no big whoop-de-doos. Me over here stuck at 1,500.
129K. It's fine.
It's fine. Oh
Well, I
my God,
have
like,
2.1 million on another reel that went viral a long time ago, remember? So 129 is no.
I'm over here cheering when I get like 3K.
You're doing great. And it doesn't even make sense why a reel goes viral. It's just, I think you really should do a reel a day. I have been trying to do a reel a day in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, you really should. I know that. I just don't always accomplish that.
That's okay. And
There's no
and
excuse.
batching
20
is
minutes.
good. There's some other software that you could use to batch also, but I don't batch. Don't do it. Am I an idiot? Maybe.
I mean, if you are doing it and you're hitting every day, there's no reason to batch. But if you're me and it's like been 4 days and you're like, oh crap, I haven't been on Instagram. I do it because then I have daily content every day and I schedule like a week or two. And then if I have like daily relevance, I can do a reel or I can do a story. Miss Karen, who's sitting at freaking day 47.
Yes, your
I
story
can
should
do
be
it
something that's
current.
like
It's just-
sort
so
of
there's
not that
something
important, just something you're
Posting
talking
on my
about.
page every day. I feel good about batching. It fits my personality, which is a little ADD. Like I could be on Instagram 5 times and then be like, oh, I didn't post anything. I thought I totally did.
There's nothing wrong with batching. I just think maybe it doesn't fit my style or something. And also, like, every time I post just like a bunch of pictures that I took in a batch, that is not necessarily the best, response anymore. So then can I actually batch reels and make them good and interesting? Probably not.
I didn't think you could batch reels. I thought you had to do those.
You can batch them and save them as drafts and don't work on the caption yet. That's what
okay.
I think they mean. You could probably like record the raw snakes and think of something witty to do with them. But I'm trying to get away from just like reveal pictures of a snake, which is definitely something I do. Because I don't think that adds value to your audience or whatever. What
do you mean by reveal snake?
Like you're panning up or opening a tub or panning over. I definitely still do them because they're the easiest, dumbest ones. But are we learning anything about snakes? Are we being better breeders? Are we convincing them that I have nice animals? Kind of, because they can see what my animals look like. But it's not adding a lot of value to the snake. It's basically a glorified picture that's 7 seconds long.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to think of ways to like, how do we make things a little bit better? I tried that video where I was talking about boas being gravid.
Oh, I liked that one. Yeah.
Right. I tried that one. It did okay. I tried the weird one where it was like worshiping a corn monument in my living room. Sort of like jokier or more informational.
Are those not doing well?
No, they're doing fine. They're doing fine.
Your monolith one, that made me laugh.
Well, the idea is like to convey a little bit more information than reveal the snake and then go sometimes, if you have time. Like, how do you add value to somebody's life? We obviously don't like dance to pictures and give makeup tips, but we could dance to an audio and give like snake testing tips or whatever. We could do all the things that are normal things that people do on Instagram that would maybe be a little bit elevated above just like a video of a snake. Although we can do that a lot too, because that's cool too.
That's fair. I will elevate on the podcast. You may elevate through your reels. I'm just gonna try to hit a few a week. Yeah, baby step goals here.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. You're doing great. This week, I've been like not listening to any reptile podcasts almost at all, or reptile YouTubers. I've only been listening to podcasting YouTubers, business YouTubers, Instagram strategy, those kind of people. So I was like, what are the normal people doing? What are they interested in? How do they convey value or whatever? That's what I've been doing. Since the Holdback rack doesn't have very many followers, I could spend 30 minutes on a reel and then no one really sees it. So do I just cross-post everything to both? Or do I keep it on Holdback so maybe someone will notice Holdback rack? This is something I've thought about recently. I don't know if we need it. The Holdback rack Instagram, it was hacked by someone in Ukraine. I lost control of it for 4 or 5 days or something, and then I got back in. So that was cool.
I think that either or, if you're cross-posting every post and I'm cross-posting every post, do we need it? I don't know. Maybe it's just a good placeholder, but I don't think you need to be doing like reels and things on.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. And then I was like, maybe I should, because this one should drive value too. Otherwise, why would they want to message me there? They would just message me on my personal one. So this has been a little confusing. I did want I
don't think you need to draw people to that. I think it's more of like when you first start ball python breeding. Like I started Instagram, but I didn't have any eggs yet or any babies, and I was just posting to like make a history. It's like when we batch did our first couple of episodes so that we didn't just have nothing. Eventually, if our podcast does well, you've held that spot, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but I don't
fine.
think it
But I think if I don't
like...
use that account, people won't message me there. Basically, if I just put up a picture every time we do an episode as like a promotional, like I spent a lot of time on that stupid Jeremy Clarkson reel that I posted just over there. I think it's fucking hilarious. The most funniest thing I've ever made. And it's got like 4 likes. Fuck me. Go listen to it, everybody. If you haven't listened to it, watched it, it is all original.
Go follow the account so she feels like she's not wasting her time.
Otherwise, I ain't posting shit over there anymore. It's just gonna be on my personal. I'll just do a little picture. I've also been
do all that.
trying to do like
she also edits all of our podcasts and does everything. I
I
just
only
show
have
up
one fetus, so that's pretty
and
good.
make dumb comments. It's great.
And I've been working on like Canva stuff and some of the free alternatives to Photoshop. Like I've just because I needed to make thumbnails if we're going to do YouTube videos, and obviously it's fine-ish. They're not that great. This one this week is a real bombshell.
A real bombshell. Mystery seatbelt.
Did you see how I was like a little
Jana needs
confused?
restraint
I'm
at
gonna
all
leave it in
times.
there now because now it's on the record. I thought about doing like, danger, like some sort of like indicator that you're like strapped in for some terrible ride or something to like indicate that it's like
Oh,
upsetting
that would
or
have been
something.
freaking awesome.
But there's so little context to why you're like weirdly float. It's fine. I love it. 10 out of 10. You've already seen the thumbnail. If you're on the YouTube versions, you know exactly what we're talking about. For audio version, jump over to YouTube. Look at that thumbnail for episode 17. Wow.
Or jump over to the Instagram and give it a follow.
Yeah, our call to action this week is mostly contact your senators if you haven't yet. But if you have anything else, any other boredom, free time, watch that Jeremy Clarkson reel. It's hilarious. Now, so using Canva and Pixlr and some other stuff to replace Photoshop has been fun because I'm comfortable with Photoshop. I just don't want to fucking pay for it. I'm just cheap. So expensive. So I'm liking playing with that. Like all of the recent memes that I've posted, I made to my Instagram handle.
I've seen quite a
Right,
interesting group of
I know, it's
characters
insane.
there.
It's insane.
What are you doing over there?
Well, you need to get on Reddit. So I'm doing like a meme a day or a still picture a day and a reel a day just on accident. But I think that I'm fucking up because I'm pretty sure the first post of your day should be your reel because the first post is the one that's pushed the most by the algorithm.
I have noticed that if you're going to post a reel, it needs to be at like 7 a.m.
Oh, I'm not even awake at 7 a.m. So I have no... I just mean...
If I post at like 11, then it doesn't. It's like, oh, like 300 views.
All right.
Big thumbs down.
Oh, so time of day, maybe sometimes though it's like for your follower mix. That would be a good reason to schedule stuff, but you can't schedule reels. I don't know what should happen. But I do know, I know for sure the algorithm favors your first post in the day more than your second. So you shouldn't post your still one first unless you want that one to be the one that's your like best foot forward for the day.
I should fix that because I have mine scheduled for 6:30 for those East Coasters who are cruising on their lunch hour, and for those early morning risers.
Yeah, I don't
know.
I don't know either. My best time of the day is 11 or whatever. 11 our time. So that would be like when the East Coasters are getting off of work. But I've literally never posted at 7 a.m., so I wouldn't know anyway. I've never even been awake at 7 a.m. This is
my tyrants get up at like 6:30 every morning.
All right, Jana. So Jana has, what do you have? You have one enhancer and two enhancers and one Desert Ghost visuals?
2 of each.
Can I guess what it is?
Yeah.
I guess that it's an enhancer.
It's an enhancer. And she's beautiful. She is enhancer het G-stripe. And she just ate, so...
All right, for the people at home who can't see this, this is a Desert Ghost looking animal that is slightly more blushed out. The blacks are more creamy and they have more like blushed out, like negative spaces. And the head is more blushed out than like the true black of a Desert Ghost. So people who are pro enhancer is something different.
Oh, I have 3 enhancers. Oops.
That was a humble brag by Jana.
Humble brag.
I have so many enhancers, I can't remember how many I have.
I can't remember. Well, I remembered that I have that girl that we were both think looks more Desert Ghosty.
So the Canadian folk think that to them, enhancers are different because they look creamier like that.
And I think she's going into shed. Her belly's pink, so she still looks that dang good. I just think it's so beautiful. I prefer the creamy, brighter, not as black enhancer to Desert Ghost, but it might all be for now.
Jana is applying hand sanitizer because she's switching snakes for the audio
I'm bathing
people.
in it. Yeah, that's what that fun sound was. Okay, and then I don't have just a single gene desert ghost. I have a desert ghost pinstripe male, and then I have a pastel desert ghost female. Do you
All
think it
right.
matters?
That's fine. I guess the
Okay.
point is made that a desert ghost sometimes will look with blacker blacks and even maybe like less yellow or more yellow instead of creamy yellow base color. But there
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a discussion on the World of Ball Pythons Facebook group, which lots of big people chimed in on, and whether they were the same or different.
Oh, people had big
And
opinions.
had they been bred, and they have been bred, and they've proven to be, at the very least, allelic. But what do you think, Jana? Are they the same? Or
I think that it is very likely that it's the same, that it's a line bred trait, that one had different qualities and it's been directly bred, and the other one, because I mean, two different animals of the same morph can look different. So if one gets imported to Canada and one gets imported to America, the ones in America that are being called desert ghosts could definitely be blacker blacks and more cool toned. And the one that got imported to Canada could have been more brown with creamier tones. So I feel like they're different looking, but that does not mean that they're different genetically.
I think there's two choices here. They are polygenic, so like you said, a line bred trait that just happens to happen to some of them, or it is an allelic situation. Like there is a different allele in some of them that makes them creamy than the other ones, but since it's allelic, it doesn't really matter.
Well, like, do you want me to get out the little girl that looks desert ghost?
Right, I think you don't have to get her out, but that's the whole
Okay.
point, is that there are enhancers, quote unquote, that look like desert ghosts. And I am going to put in the show notes a post from a Canadian breeder showing what he thought an enhancer looked like and what an enhancer desert ghost combo looks like and what a desert ghost looks like. And it's a exact opposite of what
Right. It's totally
everyone
mind
else
blowing.
currently thinks what it looks like.
Correct.
So I
Yes, I was
think,
like, no, that's not right.
right, that's what I'm saying. So like
I don't
and
agree.
I've seen creamy ones in desert ghosts.
I
So,
have. So
yeah.
when
So
I
it's
was
either
considering,
polygenic or it's already so mixed up it doesn't matter anyway. We should just call them
right,
creamy mode or not creamy mode, slick mode. I don't know, whatever you want.
mode, right. So when I was researching Desert Ghost to get into it, before I decided on Enhancer, I was looking at getting a visual that was, because I gravitate more towards the creamy rather than the black and the cool. I gravitate more towards the warm tones. And so it is 100% available in Desert Ghost.
So that means I don't think there should be a price premium for enhancer unless that animal has other genetic potential that that animal doesn't exist even in Desert Ghost or whatever.
Do you feel like it's got a premium price
Yeah.
compared to Desert Ghost?
Yeah, to
Oh,
me. It's probably partially like an issue of like there aren't that many in the States, so they haven't imported that many.
there's so few available in the States. Whenever I look under the enhancer thing and then I search for just the US, they always all disappear. It's really sad. Womp womp. Did you
Yeah.
see Always Evolving Python's new snake?
That you bought from Justin?
Yeah, he got a G-stripe enhancer het clown.
I was half watching that video while I was cleaning snakes. So I kind of saw it, but I didn't pay attention that hard.
Yeah, I wonder if he gets heavy into the project, if it will give it more attention. Because Justin has it, and he's one of the only people in the U.S. that have it. And then his photographer, Gobbles Reptiles, is that who she is?
Brittany Gobble.
Brittany Gobble, obviously she probably gets it from Justin, are one of the only people in the US that have Enhancer, but he doesn't showcase it or frontline it or hype it up. And so I'm wondering, it'll be interesting to see if AP decides to hype it up in the US and if that makes people excited about it. Because people are like, they either think it's better or they think it's a different line or they don't care and they're just like, okay, cool, it's compatible with my Desert Ghost project, so I'll take it. And then there's other people that are like, that's crap, I'm not getting Enhancer because I think it's lame, just call it Desert Ghost. So I don't necessarily know
I mean, if
how
the
it's going
price
to
was
fare in the
exactly the
market.
same and there was more in the US, I think people would just be like, oh, I have an eyeball preference for one or the other. But right now, it has a supposed prestige factor. Some people are like, that is dumb. it doesn't deserve special prestige. What I would like to point out, though, is the Ball Python Genetics Project found 2 alleles for albino within albino.
Isn't that amazing?
Right. So
And we
we
didn't
could
even know.
actually have 2 alleles that basically look the same in Desert Ghost. We just don't know yet.
And
So
the
it's
creamy version that's in the US already might be
right. That's what I'm saying.
the enhancer. I mean, they're gonna figure it out, but I highly doubt it's the next genetic part that they're doing. Aren't they doing the yellow belly complex right now?
They are kind of, but they'll take any sheds from any snake. So if you send them enhancers and Desert Ghosts and they get enough, they will just do it. They're just waiting for a certain amount. Like they haven't even gotten that many of lots of very normal things. So you can send in your
Yeah.
sheds, Jana.
I think it's fascinating that I will. It's on my to-do list. It's a
To me, it's
long
something
list.
like in boas, like boa woman caramel, and then the Russian blondes. They're probably the same thing. They're probably allelic, but they kind of have differences for whatever reason, but maybe they don't. So some people keep them separate, some people mix them together. But because right now, I think both quote unquote enhancer and quote unquote desert ghost have the other version's phenotype mixed in them, we should just assume it's all mixed up and don't worry about it anymore until someone proves that that allele is different through the genetics project, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I will just continue to do what I do with like coral glow and banana. You just write what it is.
I do not do that. I don't give a
Okay.
shit. Coral goes a dumb name.
It is a dumb name and
Yeah.
it should be banana. I'm just saying I just write whatever line it's from, butter or lesser or coral glow or banana. So I will write. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to mix up my stuff. I may just go
I mean,
all
if you made
enhancer.
enhancer desert ghost, would you call them enhanced ghosts or whatever the word is for
That's
the
what they were
mix?
calling them, but I don't like that. I was calling them like dancer ghosts.
All
I
right.
that's more fun.
Moving on. You received many black box racks. Do you have
I
a
did
review?
receive many, many. It's amazing. I got 4 XR20s. They're hatchling racks compatible with the Vision tubs or the Freedom Breeder equivalents. I purchased the Freedom Breeder tubs. They do not come with tubs from the black box. I purchased them separately, and it's amazing. I love it. I want to order a million more. I don't need a million more yet, but I will be ordering from them again. I like the layout. It's basically an XR20 is basically a little more than half of a Vision hatchling rack. So I bought 4 of them. So they'll be like having 2 of the really tall Vision racks equivalent, basically. But they're holding humidity great. Every single shelf slides smooth.
They were
All the
freighted,
cuts
assembled. Is that correct?
yeah, freighted assembled. They do not flat pack these. Shipping was outrageous, and I would pay it again. I'm very, very happy with the design. I'm happy with the quality. I am loving it. I had a bunch of babies that had rough sheds recently, and so they got all fixed and put in their new tubs in their new rack, and everybody's happy. And I think we've had 2 sheds and they were perfect.
Good job. Black box.
So I
They were following us, but then stopped following us. So I assume we scared them away by talking.
That's sad. Okay.
Well, still a positive
I love
review.
them. I recommend them. The quality is, in my opinion, it's better than Sea Serpent.
Do you have the Sea
They're
Serpent
amazing.
hatchling rack series or just the 70s?
Just the 70s.
Yeah.
I bought your 70s.
Yeah,
They're
I mean,
terrible.
you bought them, but I don't. Were never my favorite because they are a little tight.
They're very tight, and that's not my favorite. I always spill water, but I'm going to keep them around. Like, I don't hate them so much that I'm going to sell them, but
The Sea
I
Serpent's
just feel like
hatchlings aren't like that. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if that one, those ones
Interesting.
have like settled over time because they're longer.
Oh, maybe.
I'm not in charge. I
That
almost
top
think
one
those
is-
ones need to be like disassembled again and then reassembled with the screws in the middle, and then that would maybe fix it. I just didn't have
I
time
was
for
thinking
all
about
that.
doing that. Right. When I move out into my snake shack, I'll probably do that. But for right now, I have them all set up, and there are snakes in them finally.
I assembled the corn snake rack that we've already mentioned, but I did it by myself
Giant
while
monolith.
watching Netflix, and I wasn't drinking, and I should have been. And this was a big mistake because it's not that hard, but it's like irritating as dick. I watched the Tinder Swindler, the story about the guy who went around pretending to be rich, but like stealing people's money, pretending he was like the son of a diamond baron. Did you watch that? Hilarious.
Nope.
Not hilarious, sad. And then I watched that like Lifetime movie, like dark comedy show that was pretending to be about a mom whose kid died, like seeing someone get murdered across the street. You see that? Dang, you're killing me.
Don't
Jana's
even have
actually
any idea
busy.
what you're talking about.
Okay, get on Netflix. Everybody at home, I recommend both of those. That was what got me through my vision cage build, and we got to the end.
Disassemble mine, so I feel your pain.
Oh, did you
They
disassemble it?
stuck so bad.
The hard part is like
They don't suck as racks, and they don't suck as for colubrid racks, but putting them together, you have to just like shimmy those giant panels.
I ended up going and getting the mallet because it wasn't fun after like just pushing it. If you get the mallet, you can force one side way down and the other side way down, and it goes faster.
I had to disassemble half of my hat because that was my hatchling rack, but I needed to move it out so I could put my black box in, and it's going to be kept for my king snakes.
Why did you disassemble it and not just like lay it down and then carry it through?
Because I had to do it by myself, and so I couldn't maneuver it down and then into the hallway and then outside. So I had to lay it down and take half of it apart, and then I could carry it.
Yeah, usually I just I have another vision. I just basically like lay it down to get it through doorways or whatever.
And then like drag it.
Yeah,
I don't
barbarian.
Think it
it's fine.
I don't think it would have fit through my hallway. Like it's
okay. Maybe your hallway.
The turn.
Good. Yeah, vision. So vision comes to your door in a bunch of boxes. There's no freight charge, and the shipping cost is included in the price. So that rack came with tubs for $1,400 or something. Which if I had gotten it from like Sea Serpents, it would have been more expensive. If I had bought a 70 series ARS, it'd probably be the same-ish. How tall is a 70-30? 10 high?
Yep.
So that's 30. So if we basically double what I got, plus freight is $500 nowadays, $400. Whatever, they're very equivalent, but you don't have to buy a big one. So I did want not a big one for the corn snakes because I don't have that many adult corn snakes. So I ended up buying just the 70.
All the panels are the same size. So your adult vision is the same as my hatchling vision, just turned sideways, right? With different spacers.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So vision is not like bad quality or bad to buy. Like if you're looking at getting vision, that's fine. Buy it. I'm just saying they're just not put together. But I'm sure I didn't have to put together my ARS.
Those are just as obnoxious. Like, you need to go out there with a couple movies, podcast, just to get through doing the same sort of screwing the same things together over and over again. I make my husband do that one too.
Although my husband, so we got a building and it has a carport on it as well. And so now it's like getting filled with racks under the carport. My husband came out and he was like, because I put my vision rack out there, and he was like, "What's this for? Why aren't we selling this?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's for the king snakes." And he was like, "How many king snakes do we have?" He didn't know how many babies they can have or that they can double clutch. And so he was just like, "I don't understand why we have this giant rack for king snakes."
Yeah, you might not need that whole thing. It doesn't it holds 72? What does it hold?
It holds 72, but I bought the spacers to put the bottom 3 racks as C70s.
Okay.
And then
so put all the king snakes on it?
Yeah. So okay. It'll literally be like its own self-contained.
Yeah, that's fun.
King snake wonderland.
Seems like a good use for the vision rack. Yeah, the amount of airflow is good for colubrids, frankly. Especially if you have something like a desert
or ball pythons.
A suboc or something, they need more airflow. Can't handle musty stuff. Rack purchase here. I did want a 5540, but it just wasn't in the cards. I don't think I want to move another one. I'm just trying to get through what we got before going. A bunch of dogs roaming around wildly outside the door. New update. There was a Marron post on a BOA Facebook group where they're like, look at my Marron. Look at my Marron. Here's a super. It's doing great. And then I asked if they were sterile. No response. So that was
That's
cool.
rude.
Right, they're doing great, but they've never bred. It's possible that we were misinformed and they do not die, but we have no, because that one looked 2 years old or something, but we have no evidence that they super breed. So
That's not sustainable if they don't breed. Can we?
that was all in the Marron. It just has a boa morph. Did you ever go back and listen to the boa morph?
I need to. No.
All right, can I tell you something? It has more downloads
Yeah.
than the Nidovirus podcast. So put that one in your
That's
hat.
amazing. I'd love to redo it, but with like
Pictures? Yeah, we can now.
or something.
We weren't doing video for, how long we've been podcasting. It's been like 3 or 4 months. That one wasn't that long ago, but we've been on a journey of changes. So maybe in a year we can redo it.
Feels like we've been podcasting forever. I feel like that came out like negative. I don't mean that like that. I love it. I'm enjoying the process. It just feels like, I don't know, I don't feel like we're new anymore or as green as we were, but maybe we are. Who knows?
We got past 7. That's what I know to be true.
We got past 7 and we're coming up on 20. That's exciting to me.
Yeah, we're doing something correctly. And it's also been like a learning curve in terms of like the back end stuff. Like I didn't have the mental energy to do a video podcast at that time, but I have more obviously now. So like we can
Where did you get it from? Is it like for sale on the black market?
What, mental energy? You have to sleep at night. I swear to God, that's part of the process. Come on, Jana. That's like rule 1. I know.
It is rule 1. You and my doctor both. So you remember like a whole bunch of episodes ago, this is totally a tangent, and I don't even think I can reach them to show you. Remember how you were like, people need to quit putting Dame on their breeder cards, the DAME?
With an E? Yeah.
Yes. Guess what my clutch cards have on them?
You printed them out that way?
Dang it. Didn't even notice. And I ordered them.
I'm sorry.
And
I just exploded
300 with it. And I wanted to post it because I remember you saying that. And I just looked at them and I'm like, oh my gosh, Jessica's going to die.
Listen, if people make honest mistakes, it's fine. But now that you know, probably put a little black mark.
I didn't even write mine out. My designer did. Well, I guess I should have looked over it. He was not an English
major. He was a graphic design major. It's fine. Anyway, it's the most petty of
but
grinds
now it's going to make
gears.
me laugh every time I see it because of you. That's what I wanted to tell you.
Excellent.
So if Karen ever lays her clutch, we can both have a good giggle about how mine are wrong. It just feels right. It feels right that mine are wrong, is all I'm saying.
It's fine. But now we know moving forward, right? Surely.
Right.
I forgot to put gender on my card you're giving to someone as like proof.
Yeah, they're like little hatchling card.
Yeah, but I forgot gender. So sometimes I write it in as like F or M and they're like morph line, but I was like, isn't that like the first thing you do when you get a baby?
Yeah.
You're like, it's a boy. Look at that. Whoopsie. So I just forgot and I printed out
like
1,000 of them.
You can put it in the morph line.
Yeah, it's fine. We're doing great. I still do print invoices for people in addition to their whatever for tax reasons, but I have thoughts about like moving to Quickbooks or something and then having everything through Quickbooks and not Square anymore.
Isn't your website through Square?
Yeah, but I'm just having thoughts.
Would you switch your website or?
No, I just might still issue like a paid in full invoice through Square, but have Quickbooks be the primary invoicing tool so they can pay with their credit card through Quickbooks. But if they want to come up to the website, they can. This is sort of a random aside, but I've just been thinking about like, what do real businesses do? Almost invariably Quickbooks. JKR and Freedom Breeder both.
Yeah, Quickbooks is their main. Highly recommended outside of Reptile breeding.
Yeah, it would make tax season much easier to have everything have been invoiced the whole time, then entered into Quickbooks again. So when I do estimated taxes, it'll be easier. Just a random aside. I had a lot of people buy snakes off the website recently, and then I was thinking about, am I a loser? Because I still use a spreadsheet for my expenses.
I have a spreadsheet.
Are you a loser?
Probably.
No, it's totally fine. It's just like, what's What's the next
I mean, I
level
used to use
activity?
like pen and paper or like a notes file, and now I have an official spreadsheet. So I actually don't feel like such a loser. I feel like I've upgraded this year.
Good job. Yeah, it's totally normal to do that if you don't have that many transactions in and out. But there's a point where you have to like put on your big girl panties and be like, I need to pay the money to have QuickBooks every year because I want to do things a little better on the back end for accounting. I've just been
I
thinking about
don't
it.
like having a spreadsheet because it puts a total year-to-date total at the bottom.
You don't have to look at that too close.
It
Did you look at it? Are you scared?
was real bad.
You don't have to tell me the total number, but what was the percent that you sold versus spent? Like, how much money did you claw back in that
Last
year?
year?
Yeah, because you just did your
Oh,
taxes.
we didn't do enough that it mattered on our taxes. We had to do our. My husband does a lot of this. I don't know how much we spent compared to what I made. I still haven't added all those up because that's when I was doing it on the notes. It doesn't do it automatically. So I have not added up the year to date. That I'm talking about the year to date just from this year where I have an Excel spreadsheet
Oh,
and it
okay.
says
But
and it's
last
a
year you didn't do that. He just
big
figured
ass
it out.
number. No, I just have it in like a note file thing. It doesn't have an
You made
equal
your
button.
husband dig through a no file for all the expenses and sales,
He just went through the sales. He didn't look at the expenses.
but he has to take off the expenses when you filed your Schedule C.
Okay. I don't know. He does all that.
Did he guess the expenses?
I don't know what he did. I'll ask him. I'll ask him when
Okay,
tomorrow, and
that's your
then
homework.
I'll
You just
I'll
report back
report
whatever he
back.
chose to do. I don't even know. I'm just asking. Did you not keep expenses last year? Like write them down as you went along?
No, I did. I have a record of all my expenses.
Okay, then he
I
just
just
probably
haven't added them together because
okay.
I don't want to
But
know.
he probably counted them up.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
sure he
for your
did.
Schedule
He
C.
has them. I just don't.
Otherwise, you'd been real sad. All right, great.
I'm afeared,
Moving on.
especially if you add in the building.
Yeah. She's like, oh, I like that snake. It's so pretty. Oh, I need a building. It's so nice. I love buildings.
Yeah, I'm already at 20K for January.
I know. Yeah, it's easy for you to see how it can become six figures for sure. Now this year I've been very good so far. I don't want to buy anything until after we move. So there's like forced like criteria. Like I can't. Should I be bringing more animals just to move them again in 3 months? No, or 6 months or whenever. So I would maybe consider like one thing like if I needed a male ball python for next year that I hadn't bought yet, like a new Desert Ghost combo male or Desert Ghost pied male. That'd be like one more snake. Ooh.
Yeah, on my list right now is a Kiki male. And I've been toying with the idea of getting a visual het female just to have it growing up in my rack.
Would you be buying this, since this has to come from your snake money, after the July show or something? Would that be the goal?
Yeah, it would be after the July show for both things. But there are still a number of 2021 girls out there. So having that just growing up in my rack seems like it might be a good idea.
So you're saying you would sell some of the 2021 girls to make the money before July? What are you saying?
No, I'm saying I would like to purchase. I would make the money in July. I would
but
like
want to purchase
a
an older one?
Correct.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be a good idea to have that growing up in my rack.
Have you thought about selling?
I haven't decided.
Most of the 2020s will not breed this year, in my opinion. Have you thought about selling 4 of them or something, like the lamest 4? Just because you know they're not going to go this year and you will be substituting that one female 2021 before she gets sold before July. This is a question, not a recommendation. What are your thoughts?
I think if I start selling girls, that it's not right now. Like it's still too early in the season for me to be selling girls that are of weight.
What about
even if they're
2 months from
2020s?
now?
Yeah, I might be singing a different tune in 2 to 3 months.
I don't mean your best ones. I mean your worst ones. Like just to go from 4 whatever, fire, whatever, yellow belly, whatever, something 4 lame ones down to 1 nicer young hatchling.
Most of my 2020s are het for something or a visual for something or
So they're already better than your older adults anyway. Is that what you're saying?
absolutely. My 2020s are like I have a clown pied and I have a DG visual and like three pieds and I mean like they're all the stuff I bought when I very first started in the hopes of growing them up. Does that make sense? Like
Mm-hmm.
they weren't just the like, oh, what can I get fast and dirty to learn on? That sounds weird. I shouldn't have said it like that. But anyway, so the ones that I want to sell aren't the 2020 girls. It would be the like I have a couple that are on my will probably go after they lay list.
Okay. What I'm getting at is, would there be a female that would be so good to buy that's a baby, you would feel like it'd be worth selling your best 2020 girls to substitute for right away? Because you've spent the time and money to grow them up, they're worth a lot more now. So you could smash a bunch together, make $7,000, and buy a single better female.
Well, so a visual like a clown hat G-stripe or a G-stripe hat clown, they're not expensive. They're like $900. But the ones so that would
Clown
be
head G-stripe is $2,500. I don't know what you're talking about. A double head is $900. Last time I checked. Garrick DeMeyer had two of them up, including a fire double head clown desert ghost. Or sorry,
so I don't
clown
want
G-stripe.
a double head. Yeah, I want a visual head.
Right, and there was a female clown head G-stripe that Matt Byram had that was $2,500. Maybe even $3,500. It was in the multi-$1,000.
Oh, you're right. The one I messaged on is a clown 66.
And
it's
I won't
only
say his name, but
700.
he's known for cheap pricing anyway.
What I'm saying is that they were so cheaply priced that
They're basically clowns.
they're basically free.
Right, I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy that. I'm just saying like
It's not $7,000 is what I'm trying to say. I would sell.
oh, I
four
was
of my
saying
best
like if
girls
you
for
could go buy a
Kiki.
Kiki female, like, would
Oh,
that if
no
a Kiki
one's-
female showed
No
up?
one's selling a Kiki female.
Sometimes they'll sell the females first because their power sort of wanes with time before they can ever breed, because that's the male that would be better. But she could receive.
But absolutely.
Right, she has
I
long-term
would
use, so it
sell-
doesn't matter. But like people would sell. If
I
they
would
hit
let them
two,
have their pick for my collection for a Kiki female.
Yeah, that's what I guess that's
Or
what I'm
male.
saying. Like for the right animal.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Obviously, that person wouldn't be buying your animals, but would you look at your collection?
Yes.
Carve out the worst or best. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I would
animals.
sell my DG project to fund a Kiki project.
Bold move from Jana.
Bold move that you don't agree with. She made a face.
No, I don't know. I'm just trying to think if I don't think it matters what I think. I think Kiki and DG whatever combos are fine. Yeah, whatever.
I'd still have my enhancer.
Why do you even think about them as different? That's the part that kills me. Like you just said, I'm going to sell my DG project, but you didn't mean
I
the
don't mean my
project.
enhancer project. Yeah, I think of them as separate projects for now.
Right. It's fine. It's interesting.
That's fine. That's fine.
Like because I'm
industry-
moving, I have to decide if I want to sell more than I would normally be comfortable with to just reduce the amount of animals that are moving. So I've thought a lot about like
hot take.
I
want to see that list first.
I don't know what I'm selling though. I'm just like, this animal's fine, but it's probably not going to breed this year. Do I move it and then disrupt it and then maybe it doesn't breed next year anyway? And then by that time I really would be selling it because it doesn't fit my collection trajectory because it's, a het pied or something.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Life's full of confusion. Like the animal must be more better if you're going to move it 3,000 miles or something insane.
Twice.
Oh, God, have mercy.
Because you have to move and then you have to move again, don't you?
Yeah, we have to move to the rental and then move to the house that we buy.
I don't envy you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys gotten orders yet?
No. Also, World War III hasn't
Yikes.
started, so I'm counting my blessings.
Hey, and your husband came home.
Yeah, because World War III
Yay!
kind of canceled-ish.
It's canceled. For this week, it got canceled.
Maybe
Somebody
next
had
week.
COVID. Maybe next week.
I know, Russian people. First the Ukrainians hacked my fucking thing and then Russian people, start World War III. You guys maybe should just fight it out then. It's fine. I'm on team. You guys fight it out because you're both on my shit
Figure
list
it out
right now.
Yeah. Figure it out yourselves.
All right, cornhole. I was going to bring animals out as an example, but then I... Wow, fuck. She's losing her fucking mind, dude. Are you okay? No, I chose not to bring them because I knew you were gonna show off your meat whistle over there, and that was plenty.
Meat whistle, but I love it when you show off corns.
I will show them off.
They're so shiny and pretty.
Sometime, one day.
But they seem like a lot of work for $200.
Well, yeah, they're just really wiggly, and I didn't know if we were gonna get to this part. We're almost done here anyway. But the point of this question is I'm going to posit a reality to you, and you're going to decide if I'm full of shit or maybe correct.
Okay.
And it's what we talked about in Corn Stars, but I want to bring it up here because I've heard some rumblings in the streets, the corn streets, about this topic again. Here's the question. A Miami is a selectively bred snake, all polygenic, no monogenic traits, that has a silver base coat and maybe red or orange saddles. A Miami that's not that perfect, but kind of close, will have a little bit of tan maybe on like the neck or a little bit of like bleed through of like red or whatever in between the gray scales. So that is like an imperfect one. A normal corn snake could have like a base color of like tan, red, orange, yellow, whatever, mixed together, right?
Okay.
So, and then when you breed something to a cinder, the het cinder effect is to make the base color lighter in color.
Okay.
Okay.
Following you so far.
All right. So there are people who think that if you bred a Miami that was kind of to a cinder and you got like better Miamis because it took away some of the yellow, that is cheating. Is that cheating?
Hell no, that's not cheating.
Because you've taken something that was a kind of Miami and you've like fixed it with the het effect. But I think if you sell it as a Miami het cinder, some people would be like, that's not a Miami anymore because we don't know the percentage of effect from the het versus the polygenic to determine what it is.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, so they think you might be, because you cheated a tiny bit, you don't know if it's really that Miami enough or not. The reason I was going to bring animals out was I have the same father bred two moms, a Miami mom and a normal Motley mom. The normal Motley mom's babies don't look like Miamis. They do have like a lighter base coat than the mom from the het effect, but it didn't like take it all the way to like a silver base coat.
Right.
Because it can't fight that much. Yeah, they look like fucking fire.
I think that if you are knowledgeable enough that you know that a het effect is going to enhance your snake, go for it.
Is it cheating,
like, that's
though?
The whole,
is it
it's
cheating?
It's not cheating. That's the whole point of genetics, is that you understand that that effect is going to enhance the look of your snake, especially if you can look at a not Miami in the same clutch and a Miami. And
right, you can definitely tell the polygenics are helping.
It's true. It's not cheating, especially if, like, is that a good quality?
This is breaking news from Jana.
Breaking news. I don't think it's cheating.
That a ball python person doesn't think it's cheating.
That's the whole point of the genetics, is that you're supposed to use them to your best advantage.
I don't think it's cheating, but I think what is
awesome
cheating is if you bought a normal Miami from wherever and you didn't think it was het effect, then you bred it to Miami and you realized your Miami quality wasn't that great.
If you're starting with crap quality, wouldn't they ask for pictures of the parents? Like, is your Miami crappy or is it beautiful?
No, she's really good. She's very clean base without being like het cinder. And now I know she's not het cinder because I bred her to a cinder and didn't get any cinder. So I have like proof that she's from a cinder-free lineage.
I absolutely think that is.
But I just
awesome.
think
if
because
you're
they look
a crappy Miami, they should ask for pictures of the parents, and then they could be like, "That's not the Miami I'm looking for.
Right.
These are not the droids you're looking for."
That's why what's her face's son is crappy. It's because he has a little bit of yellow on his neck. I haven't showed a picture yet. I just haven't taken a picture of him because I have fucking 250 snakes for some reason. But that's what makes him less good.
250 snakes.
Isn't that some kind of hot bullshit? Holy fuck!
I can't even, like, it literally, I can't function if I think about you having to move all those snakes. It's not even my problem. I'm like, it crushes me.
Some of
the
them
amount of bullshit
will go
that
there,
is.
and some of them I'll sell before then because I don't want to move that many because I don't know how to properly isolate that many snakes. There'll be many Tupperwares, I think.
I was trying to figure out how you were going to do biosecurity, and like I said, it gave me a headache, and I was like, not my problem.
The other choice would be to send Chris to the rental house, order sea serpents racks or vision racks, something that can come fast, have him assemble them there, and then, you know, those really fucking gigantic insulated boxes that are like to ship a retake or something crazy. Just pay the money to like ship all of the ball pythons at one time, or like all of the babies, and then all of the adults. Just ship the snakes, and then I can, because ball pythons are technically the most sensitive species I own, which sounds crazy to say out loud. Everything else I have is hardier than them.
Right. They're not going to roll.
Right. And so then I'll
So if you
transport
them,
the
then...
boas and the corns. The corns, I could probably just like strap them, tape them, duct tape them to the hood. They'd be fine. Little wiggly hood ornaments. It'd be wild, but they'd be like, oh, this was fun. I don't care that it's 30 degrees. This is totally acceptable.
Yeah, they're going to be fine.
Yeah, the rat snakes, the corns, they're fine. I can almost, I'm not going to do this, but I could probably like put them in insulated containers just in the back of the U-Haul and just drive and bring them into the hotel every night. But like the boas, I probably keep them in a car at 65 degrees. And then the ball pythons are the weakest link here. Because I have, the ball pythons and the boas share like the same air. Even though they're in separate rooms, there's still like an open door between them. Right. Jana knows this, but I'm explaining this to the people at home. The ball pythons will shed bad first, before the boas do, if the humidity is not kept right. 100%.
Yep.
The boas are like, not a problem. You gotta really fuck up. Because an imperator boa is used to a really crazy humidity temperature swing lifestyle. Even though they're from the tropics, they can totally handle, 60-degree nights and like 20-30% humidity some of the time if they can like bounce back the rest of the time.
Right.
Ball python will get crunchy much sooner than that.
Oh, my poor little baby ball pythons in that vision rack. They were getting a little bit crunchy.
Yeah, I bought little sea serpents from someone else, like the shoebox style, and they had put a bunch of holes in it. I think they were keeping hognose in it, but they put way too many holes in it. So I ended up having tape the holes over.
Yeah.
Just to like bring the airflow back down to just what would have been the tub's sort of top part.
Normal, yeah.
Yeah. Just to keep ball pythons from getting crunchy in the house, which isn't even that low of humidity anyway, but it was just still too much for a ball python. Boa, fine.
Yeah, well, my room runs like really humid, like 50-60%. It does not help them. Like, I don't know. The vision rack and ball python,
it's just too much airflow. Like, it dries out the cocoa way too quick. And I would keep a boa and a vision rack again in cocoa, because that's enough for a boa. Like, cocoa and a vision plus a boa is enough. But cocoa plus a vision plus all the water in the world still can sometimes be not enough. You have to be really vigilant about adding water constantly.
Oh, yeah, like every other day. Yeah. Like, not spraying. I'm talking like dumping water into the cocoa.
Right. I do.
Well, and then I made the cocoa really wet for this, because the Freedom Breeder tubs have the holes punched in them. Mm-hmm. And you were like, it's going to be like too dry. So I made the cocoa really wet. They're happy in there, happy as clams. It's awesome.
You'll see. To me, the Freedom Breeder ones don't work in a low humidity situation. So they were getting crunchy in the Freedom Breeder tubs when my baby racks were in like the outside area with no extra humidity added. They're fine once they're in a higher humidity area, which makes sense. I keep it like 60% in the ball python room. But I was having bad sheds, even with like wet cocoa with the Freedom Breeder ones. Boas don't do that though. The boas can actually be in the Freedom Breeder ones in the house with no additional humidity and have fine sheds. You'll just have to play around with how much juice you have or not juice. Yeah. Or like if you want to upgrade them to like the bigger ones sooner, or maybe tape off some of the holes. Probably what I should do. It's like if a ball python's going to be in the low humidity Freedom Breeder tub, it'll just need to be taped up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So far, I'm really happy. Not raining in the tub. The humidity's staying perfect. So,
all right. We'll do a last little collection update, and then we'll be done. So, just for the people who are tuning in for the first time, Jana and I both bought a spot-nosed yellow belly het clown from Bob's Balls about a month apart last fall. that right? A month
Yep.
apart-ish. And we don't know if
Month
they're
or two, yeah.
fathered by the same... I think they're fathered by the same male, but we don't know if they're from the same clutch. But this is an update that mine is 450 grams, and he has purple peens, but no secret sauce on the secret menu. Jana, how big is yours?
Maybe he's 300 grams. I gotta see if he's got peens now that you're saying that.
And while she's doing that, for the people at home, you can actually tell when a ball python is getting ready to, as a male, make sperm based on like the color change and the morphology change in his hemipenes. So a young...
No, see, he's probably like 280.
I don't
He's
know.
tiny.
He's pretty big.
He's a good eater, though. I think
bigger
I've
than
been
you
feeding
think
him
he
too
is.
small.
How are his peens doing? Is he your biggest 2021 male?
No, he is not. His peens are looking good, even though he's just a little guy. Oh, he's so pretty.
See, yours is different looking than mine.
Oh, what does yours look like?
Yours looks more reduced than mine.
Yeah, that's because you bought the good one first, you jerk.
What a bitch. We both should have bought a visual clown version, but that's okay. Here we are. So that's why I think this one is not a sibling. It's because they just like the polygenic mix looks a little bit different.
I think they have the same father, but I don't think that they were, because I don't think they were posted at the same time.
No, they definitely weren't posted at the same time. Because
I
bought mine and then I like saw another one come up.
And then we argued about it for a couple weeks and about it anyway, and you were like, you should get a visual. And I was like, there are no visuals.
Yeah, it was bullshit. Like, I had money to buy a visual spot nose yellow belly last year, too. I had, like, set aside. And it didn't happen all year. And then the secret ones were being sold in shows or whatever. Then the price went up a lot on them because they were $2,500 or something the year before. And then last year they were going for $4,000 or something.
I was going to say $4K is what I think they were when I was looking.
Right, they went up a lot. So should have bought them in 2020.
Yeah, my biggest 2021 male is my banana leopard yellow belly G-stripe boy. And he's pushing 500.
Are you gonna... what does his peens look like? You don't have to
look.
check. You just... We've been talking about snakes not being able to finish the job. So I was just curious what your males were doing. Your little males.
So he is set to replace as the main male my GHI G-stripe.
Like, are you going to let him sub in for that male this year? Like, to get last?
I haven't decided. They have such different genes that if there's like duplicate pairings, I don't think I have to go through my list and see, because he definitely is big enough to take some of those, but my G-stripe is a rock star. He eats through the whole season. Like, he didn't go off food last year.
You wouldn't want that bananas to dual sire something this year just to get some of the variety, since you already have hets from the other male?
I don't have hets from the other male. I just have...
You have double het G-stripe
Ghosts. Yeah, that one silver girl and then the nothing double het. But I wanted some more with GHI in it. So, I don't know. I gotta think about it because he's definitely big enough that he could start seeing girls. I need to check his peens.
I mean, you said he was going to replace the other one. So just like...
Next season, he's going to be the main event. But if he needs some help, then I'll keep my GHI guy to maybe like start the girls next season. I haven't decided.
All right. So Jana doesn't have any snakes for sale. Good job, Jana.
No, isn't that weird? I should probably...
You should at least post them because the...
Yeah.
Just take a picture real quick.
It's like 4 snakes.
It doesn't matter.
I might have to talk to people and answer email.
Then make it slightly too expensive, and you'll only get the ones that really are motivated.
That's fair. Yeah, I gotta figure my crap out and think about what I'm doing next season. And I'm trying to get the bongo yellow belly and the spot nose yellow belly up to size, but I don't know what I'm doing.
I have lots of snakes for sale, so ignore Jana. Come to harehallfarm.com. Check it out.
Yeah, go to
especially since I have to move anyway.
Snakes.
A lot of them are selling very quickly now, so that's nice. But there's still some around, and they're not super expensive or morphy or whatever. Good pets. I have a lot of normal corn snakes too. So if you want a good deal on corn snakes and you want to batch it in with another more expensive snake, I can cut you a deal on the corn snake price.
She is ready to deal.
Right, I'm going to have to wholesale them, basically. I'm not going to move 20 normal corn snakes to...
No.
Yeah,
no,
I just
ma'am.
haven't wholesaled them yet because it doesn't hurt me that much that they're here. You know, whatever, it's a pinky.
Does it hurt your feelings? Because
Yeah.
you're feeding 250 snakes.
I know, it doesn't change the trajectory that
But
much.
if you sell your corn snakes, then you only have 230.
Some of them, because now they're getting...
like 30 away from 200.
Ooh. So since they're getting older, they're actually looking much cooler now. So like the bigger they get, the more interesting they look. In colubrid world, they don't get worse, they get better. So I'm like, I should keep this one. This one's fun.
This one's fun. They are so beautiful. Corn snakes are beautiful. Just normal.
Right, they come out of the wild. They
Nothing.
look awesome.
They're just beautiful.
They're a delight. And there's a lot of weird stuff floating around in that Motley mom I just mentioned. She was like het for 5 genes and pos het for 2 and a visual recessive already. So her babies are like a pun intended cornucopia of possible hets.
Wait, what? Didn't the male have a bunch of hets too and you hit no visual?
Right, so the babies are
none?
septuple pos hets. 100% het for 3 pos septuples or pos octuple. I don't know, a lot. Many. An absurd amount. Think of the bounty. So this year she's getting paired to a shatter, so sun-kissed Cinder. I know she's not het for Cinder already because she already bred somebody who was a Cinder, but she's supposed to be het for sun-kissed, so we'll be able to at least prove that out. She was supposed to be sexually assaulted by the little orchid male. Orchid's lavender sun-kissed. He didn't want to do it. He was scared. Poor little buddy.
Because you didn't put him down for brumation.
No, I kept all the males up because I wanted them to get size. And I know 80 gram, 90 gram, 100 gram males have sired clutches, but I haven't gotten a lock out of any 18-month-old corn snake male unless he was 150 grams already, which is like half of an adult size. So
that's a bummer.
So I should have fed them more last year. Whoopsie. I don't know.
It's hard to feed them more when you're dealing in such small...
We had to feed them more often. I should feed males that I'm sure I want to breed in 18 months every 3 to 4 days for a longer period of time. And then as they size up, do 5 days. Like right now I do a baby every 5 days. And then once they get on like peach fuzzies, I'll do 7 days just for like peace of mind and convenience. And that's a normal trajectory, but it just means a male won't want to necessarily breed at 18 months. He's just a teeny tiny bit too small, and he's like, this is really upsetting. Where's my mommy? Somebody hold me.
Sucking his thumb in the corner.
Yeah, he's not ready. He's a little boy. It's okay. So this is just a learning opportunity. I have fucked up more corn snakes in terms of food intervals in the last year than I like to admit out loud. Like overfed some and underfed others on the same schedule, by the way. You're fat, you're skinny and small. Same schedule. So like there's a...
Hey, I messed up all my het males because I was thinking, oh, they just have to be ready for fall. It never even was like, oh, maybe they could catch the end of the season.
End of it. Right. Yeah, when my spot-nose yellowbay came in, I gave him a 5-day schedule until he was, whatever, 400 grams or something. On pups, live pups only, to keep him fat. He'll take
I've got my new clown on a 5-day schedule.
Yeah,
he is happy to oblige.
Yeah, the little calico, the things that I have, those ones are also on 5 days because they're also grossly undersized for their age, in my opinion. We can fix that though. All right, I think we did it. Do you have any other collection updates you want to do?
My clown pied male did not ship, which I am happy about. Last week, we decided not to. You're
shipping this week, though, right? The weather's dope everywhere this week. That's why everyone's excited about it.
I need to message him. I haven't messaged him because today was a snafu. So,
like, I'm shipping to New Jersey.
Hopefully, they're going out tomorrow.
I'm shipping to New Jersey to Wednesday, and the weather was 50 degrees both days. Like, the whole week is 50 degrees with no snow, even in Indy. I checked Indy's weather. It's not warm there, but it's not snowing there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully he goes out this week, but I'm really glad that we decided because they didn't have the snow blizzard alert out when we were planning, but it would have affected me.
Yeah, I sent
It would have
a
affected them.
snake Tuesday for Wednesday, and then they were like, stop. But my snake Tuesday for Wednesday made it on time because the
Yeah,
alert came out Wednesday.
I think I got my little clown guy. He shipped Monday, which was shocking, and I got him Tuesday, and so we missed all the drama.
Yeah, I think Garrett just does whatever he wants, kind of.
He also put two heat packs in. One was taped to the styrofoam
Yeah,
board like it's supposed to be, and the other one was like tucked in it, which is like
yes.
it says right on the website that you're not supposed to do that.
I think
It,
his
it wasn't
problem.
a 12 by 6 by 9, 12 by 9 by 6. It wasn't a big box, but I don't think it was like a sauna in there. It was super hot. Snake's totally fine, but it was way too hot in the box.
Yeah, don't do that, everybody at home. Never use two. The
Never. It says right on
instructions.
the freaking
Yeah,
website.
unless
Never
it's like the
use
very
two.
biggest size box, like something for an adult Burmese python. That's the only time you're allowed to use two, because you don't need to keep them warm. You need to keep them not from freezing, so they should be cool. Okay, well, that's our fun fact for the day. Well, you'll report back on your homework. I don't remember what the first homework was. I already forgot. And then
I will
hopefully
report back after I listen to the episode. Figure out what my homework is. It was about taxes.
Oh, good job. Yeah, let's do that. And then
Okay.
we'll post more reels and contact your senators. Everything else doesn't matter. This has been
All right.
the worst podcast of all time. Holdback Right podcast.
Chatty episode, apparently.
Well, we didn't have a real main topic because I did.
There was so many like current events and updates and stuff.
Yeah, it's because we
It's
like
cool.
we recorded the last one early because we did it on Saturday and then released it on Sunday. So there was more than a week's worth of like updates to do because now we're recording on Monday again. So it was
Yeah.
so that whenever that happens when we like switch up the schedule, it's always sort of a cluster the week after. That's okay. Fuck it. It's already been 2 hours. 2 hours of talking. All right.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed our talking for no reason.
We
And those
did
of
it.
you
It was wonderful. I
viewing the
wasn't even
video,
that drunk.
let us know if you're enjoying that. She wasn't drunk at all.
Little
Let us know
bit.
if you're enjoying the video.
Chris was like, "That's
feature.
not enough tequila. You're not even gonna taste it." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I can't. I'm not gonna survive." He's like, "I'll make it." I'm like, "No, I have to talk somewhat coherently for some number of hours. Do you want me to just like lay on the floor?" You know what happens first in my stages, my 12 stages of drunkenness? The first thing is my face goes numb. The second thing is I like lose all bodily control, but not my like pee pee poo poo function. That's still there.
Thank you for clarifying.
Third is I just start laying weird places. Why are you laying there? I don't know. I can't go anywhere. I'm busy. Over
We
here.
have to
I would
have
be
a
over here
bonfire
having a whole conversation with
Party
you
at your house before you move.
before the fire band starts.
We haven't had a single like drinky drunk party.
Never.
We got to do that before
It's
we
because
leave.
you have to drive 400 leagues under the sea to get here. And so you can't get
Well,
drunk
that's fair.
on the way back. It's all right.
See,
All
so
right.
she's uninviting me to like stay the night or something. You jerk.
What did you listen? Did you get on adultfanfiction.net? You cannot stay the night with me until you have realized that your Star Trek Next Generation
I did
fantasies
search
have come
it.
true.
But I didn't read any of them.
All right, what's your favorite pair? Real quick before we go.
So I searched the Janeway Chakotay thing, and a lot came up.
Excellent.
I
Your
did not read them. My
additional
assignment is to
homework
read them.
is to at least pick one and just check it out.
Okay.
I'm winking for the audio only podcast. You don't need to describe me in graphic detail their sexual escapades, but I just want to see what
Yeah, we'll see how it is.
how you feel after this moment in
You'll
your
see
life.
how I feel. None
I
of your
think-
business.
All right, I think we did it. Merry Christmas.
We did it.
Bye bye.